I'm going to start by introducing myself. My name is Ana Mendizabal. I work for Utrecht University as an international marketing advisor now for 4 years. And I love what I do here, helping international students like yourselves to find the way here in the most easy and convenient way. I'm going to very briefly talk about what Utrecht University is like, and then we will take a deep dive into application and admission. So Utrecht University is it's been around for quite some time. So it was founded in 1636. We have 12 Nobel Prize winners, and we have 3 campuses. I will tell a bit more about that later. Some more facts and figures. So we have bachelor's programs and master's programs. Of course, the local language is Dutch, so there are Dutch taught programs. We have a few English taught bachelor programs, but as you can see for masters, almost everything is English taught. So it's all very international, both students and also professors. And we have around 195,000 alumni all around the world. The city of Utrecht is quite small. It has around 275,000 inhabitants, so it's very easy to move around. By bicycle is the most typical, but also public transportation, tram, buses function very well. And despite having probably for you guys a relatively small size, it has all kinds of services, restaurants, movie theaters, there are concerts, and Amsterdam is just half an hour away if you need some more activities. As you can see, we have the campuses. One is located in the city center, which is in the old medieval area with very nice old buildings that are mostly renovated inside. Then we have what is called the International Campus. That doesn't mean that all internationals are there. It's just the name of the campus that has some of the programs or some subjects taught there. And then we have the Science Park, which is the biggest campus. It's not as pretty, maybe it's more modern, but it hosts most of the students. Anyway, good for you to know that you can have classes in either location, and you can use both libraries, whether it's in the Science Park or in the city center, and facilities are shared for everyone. So yet you have a little idea. And there is even a 4th campus, is just for a particular program, and that's geographically located in a different city. But I believe nobody's here for UCR. If that's different, then you can let me know afterwards. How does studying at Utrecht University look like? Just briefly, so the education model, as you probably know, Utrecht University is a top research university. Classes look most of the times like lectures and seminars, some being bigger for bigger groups, and then some are for smaller groups and more practical. Professors are very approachable. We hear this from many internationals that tell us that back at home it's not so easy to go ask a question to the professors, like the hierarchy is very high. Here, that's not the case. You can go, you can have a chat, you call them with the first name. Some students tell us they even go to have a coffee together and discuss some projects. So that's really nice. Teaching methods are different. I will also briefly talk about this at the end. Critical thinking is definitely encouraged. As we say here, your opinion does matter. So it's expected that you will participate in class and, help the discussion and say why you think A is the right way or B. And, then you can all work together and grow together. Teaching is in small groups. So usually, as I said before, like the lectures are in a bigger hall, and then there is always a part that is a seminar with a smaller group. So the one-on-one teaching and like the personal part is also covered. Mid-assessment or feedback during every course. So you will have a feeling of how you are doing. It's not that there will be only a test at the end and you have no idea how it went in the meantime, but there will be a constant check on your progress. And then there is also honors education in every faculty. May you want more challenge, the opportunity is always there. Okay, we are a generalist university, so we are not focusing in one topic. We have 7 faculties that are so, are quite different from each other. We have science, geoscience, social behavioral sciences, humanities, law, governance, and economics. And then we have medicine and veterinary medicine. Most of their programs are Dutch only, so there could be the case that that some are English taught, but it's mostly bachelor's definitely Dutch only, and then some of the masters are mixed. And as I said at the beginning, we have more than 100 English taught master's programs in different areas or subtopics within those faculties. And the master's programs can be 1 or 2 years long. It depends on the program. So that's also good to check on our website, and depending on the program that you are interested in, so that you know exactly how long it lasts. I'm thinking of leaving the questions part for the end. So I'm going to deep dive directly into application and admission, which is the main aim of this webinar. So to start with, we have 3 types of master's programs. You have general programs. What that means is that the requirements are quite standard or basic, let's say. So what we request is a diploma that is equivalent to the Dutch local diploma and English language proficiency mostly. So if those 2 are approved or are according to requirements, you would have access to the master program. There are some programs that have additional selection. So it could be the case that you need to send extra documents, that they will ask for an interview, and that you need to send reference letters. It depends a little bit on the program, and each graduate school can define a little bit how this looks like. But you will always be able to find in the website exactly how the selection is going to be done. So in that sense, if you have questions or any worries like, oh, for the selection, what do I need exactly? It's not clear to me. Oh, I don't know what happened here. Then you can check with the program coordinator, and they will be able to help you. So that's something I want to really encourage you to do. If you are doubting, if you have any kind of question, don't hesitate to reach out. We are here to help my department with general questions, but then each program can help you if you have some specifics, because I cannot answer for them exactly what they are looking in a selection process, but they will be able to let you know. So if you think, oh, I do have the diploma that they request, but this subject, I'm not sure if it's in the level that they want, please ask. I really encourage you to contact my colleagues. And then continuing with the types of programs, we have even a 3rd type of programs, which is what we call numerus fixus. And what that means is that by law, there is a specific number of students that we can take. So there is selection, and then there is even a fixed number of students, because in the selection, there is a little bit more of freedom. So it could be that the program thinks, oh, okay, we can fit 50 students because of the size of the classroom, but 1 year maybe there are not enough students that are interested in that program, so it could be 48. Another year there are more, it could be 52, but they try to stay around that number. So there is a bit more flexibility with numerus fixus. If by law is 50, they cannot accommodate more than 50. So that's the main difference, so you can understand. Okay, let's say that you are clear in the program that you want to study. After you have been looking for it and you are certain what is matching your interest, then you need to check all the entry requirements, deadlines, and the documents you will need to prepare. The next step is to apply in Study Link and then in Osiris. And I'm going to take this one by one because this is very quick and very general. Please note that application deadlines for most of our programs are 1 of April for non-EU nationals and 1st of June for EU nationals. I just keep both in case there is anybody that has an European passport, because that case things are slightly different. All right, so let's go to a slide with all the flow of applications. This looks very complicated, but I'll take it step by step. So as I said, first, check the entry requirements, deadlines, and documents that you need to prepare. Where can you do that? Everything is on our website, so I would refer to it over and over again. You can select the program that you're interested in, and on the menu, where you can find different types of things about the program, you will see a tab that is admission and application. And there, everything will be stated, which kind of bachelor is expected that you have, if there is selection, the English level test, how does that work? Everything you will be able to find there. Okay, the second step is applying StudyLink. So what is StudyLink? That is the application portal for all higher education institutions in the Netherlands. Higher education is mostly public in the Netherlands. We have very few private institutions. So this is centrally organized by the government. So they have this portal where everybody needs to apply. It doesn't matter for which university or which program, and then they can take and they can keep an eye on how many students are coming every year, which kind of programs they are interested in, and learn from all the data. And once you are in StudyLink, you will need to make an account and then submit your enrollment application. Very important to know that you can apply for maximum 4 programs in the Netherlands. It doesn't matter if they're all with the same university or different universities. So we might have maybe 2 programs at Utrecht University that you're interested in, but there is something similar in Amsterdam or in Leiden. So you can do 4 with us, or 2, 1, 1, or 1, 1, 1, 1. It doesn't matter. But the maximum number of programs is 4. So that's good to know as well. And there is no way for us to know whether you apply to 1 or to 4. And also every application will be considered separately. So there is no penalization or any type of problem for applying to 4. So it's completely normal, and you can also do that. So if you are then accepted in more than 1, then you can still decide which one to go for. All right, apply in Osiris. So once you have applied in a StudyLink, so this general platform, you will be sent to Osiris, which is our university platform. So this is specific to us, and then your process will continue here. So you will always be able to see in Osiris how your application is doing, right? So admissions will be like, oh, okay, this step is now done, and the next steps are coming. So you will have a good idea of where you stand. Good to know also that the application fee is €100. This is specific for Utrecht University, and it's a one-time fee. So if you apply for more programs, you don't need to pay again. If you apply for programs with other universities, as I was explaining, because you can apply up to 4 programs, then you will have to see with the other university if there is also an application fee, because every university is deciding a little bit for themselves whether they are charging an application fee or not, and how much that is. All right, here I want to show you a general overview of required documents, so you have a little idea of what you will be requested to send us. First one will be the passport or ID card for EU nationals is also good enough. A copy of your diploma and a copy of your transcript, so that you know the languages we accept are English, Dutch, German, French, and Spanish. It might be the case that you did your bachelor in one of these languages, then you can send it directly. If you have done it in another language, then we will need official translation. You will probably be asked to send us your resume, CV, a motivation letter. This is mostly for those that are selective. Your contact details of referees. If one of the selection criteria is that a referee is writing a letter to recommend you, could be a professor or could be someone that you work with, but this will be explained in your program. And then the English language test results. This is usually the kind of document that you will be required to send us. And every program will state exactly what, depending, as I said, if it's a general program or a selective program. All right, a little bit more about the English language test. So we are using a system that is called EMI, English Medium of Instruction, to assess the English language skills of the applicants. Every master program is determining which level is needed. And there are 3 possible levels. This all is internal, so you don't need to remember this, but it's just so that you understand why you might see this in the program and not understand what it's referring to. It's just a way of talking about different English levels. So it could be that you need EMI ready, experience, or advanced level, which will be translatable to different results of TOEFL, Cambridge, IELTS. So you can take this kind of more regular test, and that will translate to the level. I will show you in a second in the next slide how that looks like. The scores, again, depending on each program, they will explain which kind of EMI level you need to join that program. Again, the deadlines for sending in the results are 15th of June for non-EU nationals and September 1st for EU nationals. All right, so this is what I was referring to. In the web page of your program, you will have an area in admission and application where they also mention the English language level that you are needing. And if you click that, it will take you to an equivalency page that is going to look like this. So let's say that you need EMI ready, like you can see here. What does that mean if you take an IELTS exam or a TOEFL or the Cambridge? So you can know exactly what you are requested. It's easy to find in our website, but if there are questions, you can always check with our admissions team. There are also a few exemptions that you can find also stated in our website. In case you studied already your high school or your bachelor in English, or you are coming for English-speaking countries. So it's good that you know that maybe is the case for some of you. All right. Let's say that you are still studying and you did not get your diploma because you are finishing somewhere at the beginning of this year, for example, or that you did not take your English test, but you are planning to do it soon. Yes, you can still submit your application. It's not a problem. If you don't have a diploma, then you can send us a proof of anticipated degree form, and I will show you an example in a second. If you haven't taken the English test yet, what you can do is let us know when you are going to do it. Let's say you are planning to do it on February 20th, for example. So you can tell us, oh, I don't have it yet, but I'm going to take my exam on February 20th, and afterwards I can send the results. So you can already go ahead, even though you might be missing some of these requirements. As I was mentioning, if you don't have the degree, your bachelor degree yet, it's not a problem. You can ask your university to fill in the proof or anticipated degree. We offer on our website an example. You don't need to use this one. Maybe your university has something similar that they use normally, as long as it contains the same information. So we need to know who you are, what you are studying, and when the university thinks you will be graduating, and then they can sign it. So if we have that until you get your final diploma, this is valid for applying. All right. So we have checked the entry requirements, deadlines, and documents. We have seen how you can apply via StudyLink. We have talked about how you need to upload all the required documents in our system, which is called Osiris. You need to pay the application fee, prepare the documents, and if you don't have them, what you can do. What happens next? All these documents we have a file about your application, and then our admissions office is going to check all of it. And what they are mainly going to do is to check if your previous education is indeed comparable to a similar degree here locally in the Netherlands. And if that is okay, then the application will be sent on to the graduate school. So really to the faculty and the program that is really in charge of the program itself. And then they will make a decision whether you are admitted or not. And we can see a little bit more about how that works now. There are two types of decision, and I will tell you about it. So once the graduate school is making the decision, you will receive an email including an explanation of how they have gone through all this process of admission. So if you are in bad luck, which I guess it won't happen, it happens not that often, you might be rejected because in the end, the diploma that you have is not comparable to the Dutch one or something like that. But if you've gone through the process, you have read what you need, and everything is clear, in principle, you will be conditionally accepted. And from then onwards, when you fulfill those conditions, you will be unconditionally accepted. But I will explain a little bit better what this means, because this might sound confusing, I realize. Yeah. Okay, what does conditional acceptance means? This means that you have not yet met all entry requirements. So the letter will say that you are conditionally accepted. And that means that there are some conditions that you still need to fulfill. And they will exactly state what this is in your case. So for example, you need to send proof of your diploma and transcript. So maybe you have sent the proof as we spoke, but then you will need to send the final diploma. So they might say you are conditionally accepted, but we need to receive your final diploma. Or, for example, you will need the English proficiency test. So if you say, okay, I'm going to take the test soon, they will say, okay, you are conditionally accepted, and the condition is that you pass that exam. That's what this means. One third reason could be that you miss a course or pass a test if you are applying, for example, for a master that is very specific, let's say in physics, and you need certain subject to be able to have a good base to start that master program. They might tell you, hey, we really advise you to take that course before you join us, because otherwise you don't have a good base. So that could also be the case. Once again, the deadlines for sending the documents, the final documents for non-EU, is June 15. For those that might have a EU passport, that would be September 1. Okay, why do we need to receive proof of the final diploma and transcript? Well, we need to verify that the documents are authentic, of course. That's something we need to do by law. And what does it mean that you need to send us a certified digital document? That's basically an electronic copy of your diploma and transcript that can be verified online. So how can you submit this? This could be done via our system, Osiris. If you don't have the opportunity to do it that way, it could be sent via a university system. And nowadays, many universities have something like this already in place, so they can communicate directly with other institutions, or they might work with other verification platforms. So you can always ask if they have something like this in their system. If not, you can email it to the admissions office. If all of this is not possible for any or other reason, you can send it by post, by regular post, just a certified hard copy. Attention, a certified hard copy, which means it's not just a photocopy. it needs to be certified. So you could make a copy, you can ask for a copy to the university, and they do need to stamp it to prove that it's indeed the same as the original. But never send the original diploma and transcript, because those are for you. You have only one and you need to keep it. So the university can usually prepare a copy for you and then stamp it, and then it's certified. But yeah, I repeat again that we really encourage you to send us the online version, because it's faster and easier, and it won't be lost in the post, so it's easier for everyone. But if for one reason or the other is not possible, it can be done the old-fashioned way, let's say. All right, lots of information right here. Okay, I've explained what conditional acceptance is now. I hope I did an okay job and you understand it. So you are getting towards the end of the process. So you had this conditional acceptance, and now you are preparing the final documents, certified documents, and you can send those to us. And that will mean that then you are unconditionally accepted, because there will be no more conditions that you need to fulfill. Everything is done, everything is clear, and you are now accepted at UU. So what happens next? Then you need to confirm your place, tell us that you are indeed going to come. How much time do I have to confirm my place? Well, that depends a little bit on the program. So please check your acceptance letter, because everything will be stated there. If you need a visa or a residence permit to stay in the Netherlands, the deadline is the 15th of May, because our admissions team is going to handle all the visa process for you, but that takes some time. So that's why the deadline is relatively early, 15th of May. But so that you know that that's done for you. Here centrally, EU students have a little bit more time, so we recommend them to confirm by June 15th. How can you accept your offer of admission? You can accept it directly in the Osiris environment. That, as I said, you can always see where your application stands. So by then you will be unconditionally accepted, and then you can click that you are indeed accepted. But you can also do it a little bit earlier if you want. Already when the conditional offer is done to you, you can also accept then. All right. What happens after admissions? So as I said, our admissions team is going to handle all the visa process for you. So they will keep in touch and let you know what the next steps are, what you need to send them so they can prepare your visa. Yeah, and they will help you every step of the way. We will also help you with housing and other practical matters via newsletters and webinars to help you prepare. We organize pre-departure weeks. We organize webinars online that are already a lot more specific and practical. What do you need to prepare before you come here? What can you expect? Yeah, all kinds of answers to the questions you might have. I really encourage you to have to join those or contact with us again. Don't hesitate and ask any question you need to be able to prepare as good as possible. We sometimes hold pre-departure sessions also in person. Last year we did it in Taipei, and it was a really nice experience. One of us from the team travels, and then we try to have an alumni or a current student that has been here at UU, and then that person can also share from the local perspective a little bit what to expect. I can't promise, but we would also like to do it again in Taipei this year, but there will be confirmation if we do so. And then there is another very interesting activity, which is called the UU Welcome Week. Usually take place at the end of August, beginning of September. And this is organized specifically for international students. And we have a team that is working very hard every year to put a very nice week together, which is a mix of practical things, okay, like help you find a general practitioner here, or get a bicycle if you want to buy one, like really very practical things. But also they organize fun things so that you can already meet other internationals, people from your program. So it's a soft landing because there are still no classes, but you are already living the university experience and getting to know the city as well in a fun way, because of course it's a big change especially for internationals, arriving to a new country and to a new program and getting to know a lot of people. So this I really recommend that you join if you can. It's not compulsory, but it's a really good way of having a soft landing in the Netherlands, I would say, and in Utrecht in particular. So to summarize a little bit, some tips and tricks: start on time as early as you can. Application is possible already since the 1st of October. So that will give you plenty of time before the deadline. Indeed, if there are conditions you need to fulfill to understand what you need and to prepare all those documents. Read the instruction carefully so you are sure that you are not missing anything, that all the deadlines are clear. As I said, check Osiris online application for progress, because you will be able to see there exactly where your application stands. Again, don't hesitate to contact our international students team via email. They are very, very happy to help you. So there is no problem really with emailing, with asking questions. That's our job. And stay tuned with us, because as I said, we will have webinars, we will send you newsletters, we will invite you to join different platforms where you can also meet already students before you come here. So always please keep an eye on the news that you receive from us. Also, I wanted to touch briefly upon tuition fees and fixed expenses so that you know a little bit what you can expect. Tuition fees per year depend a little bit on the program. Also, they are different for non-EU students and EU students. This is because, as I explained, we are a public institution, and the government is subsidizing local, regional students. And that's why you can see the difference in the tuition fee. For non-EU, it's a bit more expensive. So depending on the program, it can go from roughly 13,000 euro to 27,000. Other expenses that you need to take into account, we recommend to calculate between 1,200 and 1,600 per month. This will, of course, depend a lot on the type of accommodation that you get. If you get a room that is shared with more people, or you get a studio, it will be very different. So roughly it can go from 450 to up to 1,000 if you end up in a studio per month. So yeah, that will be a big part of the cost. And then, of course, there are other living expenses: your food, your insurance, study materials, telephone, all these kind of things. So that's roughly what we calculate you will be needing. Many students ask us for working opportunities, and there are working opportunities. There are a lot of flexible small jobs around campus and the city. This is regulated for non-EU students, so there is a maximum of 16 hours per week that you can work, or full-time during the summer break. For EU students, there is no limit, but we also recommend to not exceed 14 hours a week, because in the end, as I was saying, it's a big change of country program. You need to do a lot of readings for your courses, and it's good to check a little bit how you're doing if you are willing to work. Okay, so let's say that you have been accepted, you are coming, and you joined the welcome week, and now you are starting your classes. So I briefly wanted to mention what you can expect. The academic year starts at the beginning of September usually, and goes on towards the end of June. We divide the year in 2 semesters, but each semester is again divided in 2 periods. And how it works is that in every period you are going to have 2 to 3 subjects normally. Of course, it depends per program. So this is general what I'm saying, but there could be changes. And you would be like 8, 9, 10 weeks fully working on those subjects. You will be tested along those weeks, and at the end of the period, you will be done with those subjects. And then you will move on to period 2 and start all over again with new subjects. So that means that the pace is quite fast. Many students come from systems where the semester, is longer. They start slowly, and then the last month or so, they really speed up and learn a lot. Here, you cannot do that. You really need to be on top of things quite from the beginning, because otherwise, it goes so fast that you are not going to, to be able to catch up. So maybe it's tough to hear, but it's good to know. And in between periods, there are usually breaks of around a week. In winter, for the Christmas, New Year's period, there are usually 2 weeks, and then there is a big one in summer. If you are doing a 2-year master program, then it's around 7, 8 weeks in the summer. Okay, teaching methods. So as I said a little bit in the beginning, so there is a variety of teaching methods. There are bigger lectures, smaller, more personal seminars and tutorials. Could be that your program has a research project, or they are asking you to do a short internship as part of the program. If you are doing something related to science, could be that you are doing some laboratory work. Definitely, there will always be group work, and also lots of time for self-study. Most of the programs have relatively few hours of lectures and tutorials, but you have to count that there will be a lot of work that you need to do yourself. So this is something that is also good to know. Sometimes students ask like, oh, but every Friday appears like I'm free, and that is possible, that there are no classes, but probably not that you are free, because you will need to be working on your projects or doing your readings. Okay, and then about assessment and testing, as I mentioned, also you will be assessed throughout the period. And so not only necessarily one final exam, of course, it depends on the specific course, but normally you can have essays, papers, presentations, your class participation. As I said, no, critical thinking is encouraged. So, if you participate, everything is going to count. Some of the programs, the research especially, might also have a thesis component. So also interesting to know that it's not only one big exam and everything happens, whether you pass or not depends in that one moment, but, there are other ways of being assessed. All right. I think I went through almost everything I wanted to say. Also, I encourage you to chat with our students. Most of our programs give you the opportunity. There is a little pop-up that you see coming with the contact of a current student. So this is just an example that I put here this was student of economics, and then you can chat with him. And most of our programs offer the opportunity to connect with someone, because I can explain a lot, and you can contact the coordinator of the program, but I think there is no one as a current student to tell you exactly how it feels like. So I think also it's really quite easy to connect to them, and then they are really willing to share and to tell how they are doing and how they are experiencing the course and the city. So please use it. It's a very good tool. So somebody tells you firsthand anything you need to know. We also have regularly 2 times a year open days. Usually around, we are going to have our master's open day next week actually, but that's online, and it's on location. But we have a lot of recordings for you from the previous session, which was online. So that's usually in our autumn towards October, November. And during the beginning of the year, we do it on location. But everything is available if you want to see a recording with a further explanation of your own course. Please take a look. All those resources are there to help you as the different teams are. And I think with this, I'm happy to take some questions from whatever was unclear so far.
线上各位同学，或者是家长，如果你们有任何的问题，都欢迎现在提出来哦。因为那个安娜她知道所有的申请，而且她对每个 faculty 其实也是非常的了解。那如果想要开麦克风，询问问题的同学，请开麦克风。那如果说你想要在聊天室打字的话，Anna, we have the first question for you.
Question. Yeah, does my working experience be bonus to get the admission? Again, it will depend on the program specifically. The graduate school will decide in the end, so I cannot tell you exactly for your case, but it could be that it helps. Yeah, as the example I was saying, if you're going to do something specific for physics and they are missing statistics or I don't know, whatever that could be related that they really want to, maybe you did not take the course, but you work on that already and you can prove you have the experience. That's certainly something that they will take into account. I can't promise that then you are that you are immediately accepted, but it will be part of the process. So if you really have a very specific question, or the idea of which subject you want to let's say present as with your working experience, check with the coordinator. They are the ones that can tell you best. Really, go for it. Okay. If the school will provide accommodation for PhD students, it's a different one. Well, accommodation, I didn't go into accommodation because it could be a webinar on its own. We usually do one in April. In principle, for any type of student, yeah, there is no guaranteed accommodation. We do have a housing office that helps internationals, and how it works here is that universities don't own housing, right? So as such, we cannot book anything, but we can make agreements with the housing corporation. So our housing team makes these kind of agreements. Okay, let's reserve some for our international students, and then they open a booking process for those rooms. So it's not guaranteed, and there is help for internationals, usually for bachelor and master. For PhD, it works slightly different because we don't see PhD as a regular program that you apply to, but more as a job that you need to apply to as another regular job. So usually accommodation is not included. But I do see many graduate school and programs that do help enormously. And they ask, oh, I'm getting this PhD student coming for whatever time. Can we get help? And I'm sure our housing team can also support. So the university offers the support. We also have lots of information for admitted students on how to look, where to look, and to support you on this. But I cannot tell you that it will be guaranteed, and that counts for everybody, actually, unfortunately. But also in our experience, and I think Dual can confirm this, that if you know that this is going to be a bit of work, and that you're prepared in time, most of our students end up finding a place to stay. It will probably not be in the heart of the city looking at the at the beautiful canal. It might be at the beginning a little bit in the surroundings, but we get thousands of students every year, and almost everyone finds a place to stay. If you want to complete with any comment or experience from alumni Dual,
I mean, perhaps I can, let's say, answer this PhD candidate with some information in Mandarin.
Yeah, perfect.
其实有关这个住宿的问题哦，那刚刚安娜已经说明得很清楚了。那基本上荷兰绝大多数的大学都没有宿舍，那合作的宿舍公司大多数也都只提供宿舍给要去念学士跟硕士课程的国际学生，而且呢，通常也都只有提供第一年的协助。那而且呢，也是要用抢的哦。那没抢到的学生也要自己去想办法。那针对那个 这个所谓的博士的学生，那基本上呢，你们就要去所谓的私人的市场去找自己的这个住宿。那当然呢，我们其实都有公告，而且有提供所谓的那个留学荷兰互助表单的填写。那所有录取的同学呢，包含PhD 的学生，你可以就是说在录取之后填写我们的表单，那我们都会提供留学荷兰，而且甚至包含乌特勒支大学的学生的这些群组等等。那通常这些学生群组呢，里面的成员呢，各种类都有，有人在那边念 PhD，有人是已经留下来工作。那大家呢，通通都会提供，不是说大家会提供啦，而是大家都会很乐意去分享有关这个当地住宿、找房子等等相关的资讯，甚至有一些同学他找到一些私人房东的资讯，希望能够征询一下意见，也可以透过这些相关的群组去询问。那因此呢，只要有录取的同学，到时候再跟我们要这一个所谓的互助表单来填写，那你们就能够联络到在荷兰的这些已经待在那边的台湾同学。所以我觉得这个问题就像刚刚安娜讲的，这个是你需要去准备的事情，但是呢，到后面基本上应该都不会变成是一个很严重的问题哦，只要你好好准备有认识的话。OK，安娜。
All right. I see another question. What if the subject that I would like to apply for was not in my major when I started in college? College is still okay to apply for it. I think this will also depend. For example, if you apply for a, let's say, generalist program, such as, let's say, sustainable development, for example, is an example that I have in mind, that it's a more general program, and then within the program there will also be different tracks that you can follow. You can probably come from many different types of studies, and you will be able to catch up. If it's a program that maybe is related very strongly to biology, let's say, and you did not do biology, I think then it's very, very difficult to catch up or to be accepted in such a course. So again, my recommendation, go to the program coordinator if you are doubting and you say, well, maybe, I go through all the hassle, I pay the fee, and in the end, I'm not admissible to the program. You can explain, hey, I studied this and I would really like to apply for your program. Do you think I have a good chance? I would really recommend you to do that.
好，同学如果有任何问题，都欢迎可以开麦克风，也可以在聊天室留言。
And also Dual, you have lots of years of experience with applicants, so probably Dual himself has a very good feeling how it has been done in the past. And then, he has a short line with me and we can always check if you prefer that also. Okay. Any more questions?
请说。
Yeah, I got a question. Could you just introduce about the application for PhD student briefly? Thank you.
Yes. The application for the PhD students, you mean? Well, as I was explaining earlier, these are really, they work different at our university than bachelor and master programs. So in that sense, you will not find a description of, these are the PhD the openings that we have, or this is how it works. It's really more like a job. So there might be an option here and there, but it's not something we offer structurally. And they are also paid for. So it's really like applying for a job. As far as I know, you can also find somebody that is going to support your PhD and then propose it to the university, and then they could accept it if it's in a field that we have expertise on. But yeah, it's not like the master's program when we have sort of a menu and then you can choose and you can follow the procedure that I just described. Each PhD position will come whenever there is some space or the need for it, and you apply with whatever they are requesting at the moment. That's why I don't know much in depth, because we're usually talking about bachelor and master programs, but not so much about PhDs. Yeah. Dual, anything you can complete with?
OK， 那我也顺便简单的讲一下啊。那实际上，所谓的这个荷兰研究型大学的博士研究的部分，绝大多数就像刚才安娜讲的，是用职缺 vacancy 的方式来提供出来。那通常呢，这个是有一个过程，这个过程就是说，学校通常是由这个计划的教授。他先向这个国科会、荷兰的国科会或者是其他相关的单位申请到经费之后，然后接下来呢，他们会去研究需要多少个研究生，然后呢，根据这个拿到的预算，然后再来，例如说在学院里面系上，或者是说学校的一些管道进行公告。可是过去的这20年来，因为不管是在荷兰或者是欧盟，都有几个所谓的这个博士研究的这个所谓的入口的网站。那荷兰的大学呢，大多数的情况之下，也会直接利用这个所谓的博士职缺的入口网站来公告他们的职缺。那这个所谓的PhD 这个 portal 呢，它其实是叫做 academic transfer。那所以同学只要在那个网络上你打 academic transfer，例如说 for PhD vacancies， 你只要打上这些关键字之后，你一定会找得到这一个入口网站，然后在入口网站里面就去寻找这些相关的职缺。那各位一定要知道哦，因为这个荷兰98%以上的博士研究都不是提供所谓的课程让大家去上课，那因此呢，当然也没有所谓的开学时间。那这些研究计划都是由这些计划主持的教授，他拿到经费之后，然后就会公告出去。那因此，每一种类型，或者是每一个领域，或者是每一个研究计划的博士职缺会被公告出来的时间，没有人知道啊。它可能是3月，可能是8月，可能是12月，没有人知道到底什么时候。所以那个所谓的 academic transfer 这一个职缺公告的这一个入口网站，大家就是3不5时的，你就要上去看有没有适合你的职缺在上面。那因此讲到说如何能够获得这些相关的资讯，与其去找这个单一学校的这个网页呢，那不如直接看这个网站会比较全面。好，这就是我给的一个基本的一个介绍。
好的，谢谢 ，Thank you。
好，还有没有其他的同学要询问？哎，好像底下有一个问题哦。Anna, I think there is another question in the chat room
There's
for you.
another question, yeah. Yes. I would like to know, since I'm graduated from the University of Science and Technology, which is similar to the one that they want to apply for, will it be a concern to be qualified in UU? So again, if you are applying for a master in that area, it will, I imagine that the diploma is comparable and then you will be admissible. But same as the question we just got, it is a matter of seeing if the graduate school confirms that, and then if there is any subject that you have a deficiency for, because maybe you have it in a level different of what's needed. Like we just had the example with econometrics that he needed like an extra course. So that could potentially be an issue. But again, same suggestion as I did before. If you are ready, ask the program coordinator. You can say, well, this is my case. Do I still have a good chance, or do you think I'm going to miss any qualifications? And maybe they can already tell you, I will probably think you will need an extra course on this and this subject. And then you can think a little bit, oh, do I have the time? Do I want to do this? Or do I do a similar program, but that doesn't have this requirement? That's also another possibility if there are a few that are similar. because as I explained, you can apply it up to 4 programs. So there could be something in the same area, and then you could see whether that's an option for you.
好，那个同学还有其他的问题吗？
Hi. Hello, Anna.
Hello, Roxy. Hi.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction. My name is Roxy. I want to ask if there is scholarship provided by the school.
Unfortunately, we are really not very strong in scholarships. Everything that we have, which is not a lot, will be listed in our website. I'm not sure if you're a little bit aware of the situation, but we are public and we had some budget cuts, and unfortunately our main scholarship will be stopping, which is really very sad and a big pity. So still you can see listed there a few options, and also we recommend maybe you can look locally. And Dual also organizes locally some things.
Yes, we
so maybe
we just did our scholarship information this I think 2 days ago, and so we have got the recording. So I will encourage this student to take a look at our scholarship information recordings.
Yeah, probably
thank you, Anna.
Yeah, probably you have a better chance with the local organized than what we have. Unfortunately, I hope things turn around and we can offer more scholarships in the future. But right now, we don't have so many opportunities, unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Thank you.
No problem.
好，只给刚刚那个同学一个补充哈，因为过去台达电他们确实是有赞助到那个乌特勒支大学就读的同学，所以说原则上只要是申请到这个乌特勒支大学的同学，其实也会有一个很高的机会，说不定可以拿到台达电的这个环境奖学金。
好，谢谢主任。
不会，谢谢。那聊天室还有线上还有任何同学想要询问的吗？好，如果没有的话Anna, I think time's up.
Yes.
I would like to take this opportunity to thank you very much for your contribution tonight. Actually, that's afternoon in the Netherlands, right?
So it is 2 o'clock here.
Yeah,
and I was telling Dual that it's very cold. It's 5 degrees and it feels like 0 degrees. So you are lucky to have very cold 15 degrees. But thanks for having me. I'm really happy to have met online, everyone joining. Thank you for your questions. And I want to wish you lots of luck with your application. And we are there for you. So any questions, Dual, myself, anybody else at UU, don't hesitate.
Okay, thank you very much. So we keep in touch.
Okay, have a great evening. I will send also this presentation so everybody can take a look later.
Okay, great.
With more time.
Thank you.
Right.
Ciao.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Ciao. 谢谢。